Hi, I'm Enchanting Nubianette. Welcome back. And if you're viewing my channel for the very first time, welcome. Today, this new story focuses on a recent fraud pertaining to Medicaid. It may seem shocking, but several people throughout the years, decades, have scammed our government using money earned by hardworking people like you and I. Here's the details. Candace Taylor, 35 years old, allegedly orchestrated one of the biggest Medicaid schemes. Here's how Candace set herself up to become a millionaire without putting in the hard work on a daily basis. She changed her destiny by applying in 2019 for Medicaid under the alias Candace Taylor. Now, at that time, Candace Taylor claimed a biweekly income of only $1,900 without dependents. At first, her application was denied due to her income exceeding eligibility limits. So, since she saw a vision of a soft life for herself and luxuriating each day, Candace Taylor applied a second time in 2020. Now, I'll tell you how she lived as a millionaire in a few minutes. But this brazen woman had the audacity to use the same alias, but this time she reported inconsistent dependent claims. So previously, Candace reported that she was childless. Now, she so called has dependents. This time she gained approval even though her actual financial situation was above the threshold. So during 2021 through 2024, Candace continually transferred tens of thousands of dollars from her business to personal accounts and back again. Although Candace obtained a huge amount of government funds for a few years, the government agency nor any of its employers tracked her accounts. Again, her personal finances consistently exceeded Medicaid eligibility criteria as she continued to receive benefits. Now, here's the juicy part. Regarding Candace Taylor's luxurious lifestyle, she made a $100,000 wire transfer plus $13,000 on a debt card transaction to purchase a Lamborghini Urus. She paid $45,086 to Audi Finance for another car. She made multiple six-figure withdrawals with cashier's checks for jewelry and cosmetic surgery. This fraudster funded property investments using business income and personal transfers. And YouTube family, I must add that with all this theft, she had put the icing on the cake by flaunting her unearned wealth on several social media platforms. And of course, federal investigators were able to utilize this evidence to build their case against her. It's hilarious and pathetic when an individual tells all that they're doing and is illegal. She provided the clues of what she acquired and how she acquired these things without working. Flaunting, boasting, showing off, bragging, whatever you call it. So here are some theories that I believe helped Candace Taylor slip through the cracks. Well, first of all, she used an alias name. Candace applied with a slightly altered name, which I stated, Candace Taylor. Second, she concealed having ownership of a business or businesses. Purposely, Candace Taylor did not disclose that her businesses generated millions of dollars. She owned businesses that brought in specifically $9.5 million in revenue. At the same time, receiving Medicaid benefits, according to the prosecutors in Louisiana. Instead, she stated that she earned a modest amount of money. And in 2020, despite being approved for Medicaid and claiming to possess no income, her account recorded deposits totaling $480,000, no, $994.09, with over $325,000 directly attributable from her business activities, stated the prosecutors. Federal agents said they subpoenaed her tax returns in 2025 and found out that she had been misrepresenting her income. The Louisiana Bureau of Investigation said that they learned that Taylor earned not one, not two, but 6 companies, which an arrest affidavit said brought in, as I stated earlier, a whopping $9.5 million, all from 2020. Remember, when everything was shut down, we had to be at home. We could only go out to go to work or to buy groceries, only the necessities. When so many people were out of work, but this scammer, she was at work. She was at work again from 2020 through 2024, scamming, frauding. There were state level oversight gaps also in this case. Remember that Medicaid is managed by individual states. Mind you, Louisiana did not have a modern system to track or to cross check between tax records and benefit applications. Again, it took years for law enforcement to find her on her social media websites. Also, Candace Taylor used multiple accounts and business names to avoid using authentic documents or true sources to state how much she really earned. And finally, Candace Taylor was arrested just last week on July 28th. She was booked into the East Baton Rouge Parish Prison, and now she faces multiple charges of government benefits fraud. You know, it's not worth it. Not at all, even though if you can live in luxury for a year or even a few years. Look where she is now, right in a pen wearing an orange jumpsuit. So here's a few more cases. 5 cases actually. So these, I'm going to talk about 5 Louisiana Medicaid recipients who also were arrested on charges related to welfare fraud. And this information was provided by the Louisiana Attorney General Jeff Landry. I looked it up online, everyone. Now, these arrests came after investigations by the Louisiana Bureau of Investigation, the Louisiana Department of Health, and the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's Office. So, the Attorney General Landry, he said in quotes, it is troubling when people fraudulently receive benefits meant for those in need. And everyone, this really triggers me to think about so many people who this money could serve, such as children, all ages of children, disabled people, senior citizen, and even the working class like myself. He also said in quotes, these arrests highlight the need to bolster our state's vetting efforts on those applying for welfare benefits, end of quotes. So again, here's information on more fraudsters. We have Naj Khalid Abdesalam. He was 33 at the time, from Alexandria. He was arrested on 1 count of theft over $25,000, 1 count of government benefits fraud, and 1 count of filing or maintaining false public records. He is alleged to have provided false information regarding his income and employment status in order to obtain welfare benefits for himself, his wife, and his 5 children. Now, his family allegedly had over $40,000 worth of claims paid by the Medicaid program, despite Mr. Absalam's ownership of several businesses, not one, not two. So let's hear it. So he owned 2 convenience stores, a tire service business, and a multi-million-dollar Medicaid provider company. Mr. Abdel Salam, was also charged by General Landry's Medicaid Fraud Control Unit with 10 counts of Medicaid fraud and 1 count of criminal conspiracy for alleged crimes committed as a provider. Also, there is a man named Harold Lugine, who was 52 years old, from Lafayette. He was arrested in 1 count of theft between $5,000 and $25,000. He allegedly received tens of thousands of dollars in benefits, while averaging at least twice the monthly income limit for Medicaid. Here's another, Elton Miller, who was 43, from St. James. He was arrested on 1 count of filing or maintaining false public records, while allegedly receiving several thousands of dollars in benefits. Interestingly enough, he was earning nearly twice the monthly limit for Medicaid. Nolan Mallory, he was 45 at the time, from St. Martinville, was arrested on 1 count of filing or maintaining false public records. He is alleged to have committed fraud by claiming his child resided with him and not the mother, whose income was well above the eligibility requirements for Medicaid benefits. Next is Jeannie Lee Herman, who was 60 years old, of Bossier City, was arrested on 1 count of government benefit fraud and 1 count of filing or maintaining false public records. And this woman allegedly claimed income of $150 weekly, but filed income taxes showing an income of over $40,000 annually. And that attorney general stated that they always usually attorney generals always say that they're committed to finding any recipients who have falsified their information to gain benefits, and they will root out fraud and scams from their programs. They also mentioned that they will continue working closely together with various government agencies to protect their state's precious resources and to save the taxpayers' hard-earned money. But unfortunately, these fraudsters commit crimes like this often because our government systems need to have modern methods of tracking recipients. Our tax dollars need to fund more government programs with advanced technology. Let me explain further. Advanced technology should be strategically integrated into government programs, just like Medicaid, to enhance oversight, reduce fraud, and improve service delivery. So by leveraging these tools like, let's say, AI-driven analysis, real-time data sharing, and automated eligibility verification programs. Everyone has a social security number. They have the birth certificate. We have records of addresses, jobs that are associated to one individual. Match all of these factors up, match all the data up. We need this. This is the tracking system we need. Agencies can more accurately track recipients by all of these factors. and any household changes. But now these predictive models can, if they have this funding, they can flag suspicious patterns like sudden financial inflows or mismatched employment records, while cloud-based platforms enable seamless or smooth coordination across state departments. So even if one person lives, for example, in Mississippi, if they were to go to Ohio, the information follows them. If they move again to Florida, it's a continual, consistent data that follows them. So, YouTube family, in reality, this takes a significant amount of investments and time. However, in our current state, right now, our government, as you know, has been cutting major funds from so many government systems, so many programs that are beneficial to everyone in the country. For example, FEMA. Just 2 nights ago, I heard that it's cutting NPR. The Department of Education, there's a lot of job losses, a lot of funding cuts in agriculture, and so on. So, what are your thoughts, everyone, regarding um, this news story? Feel free to drop a comment below, and please remember to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Thanks a million, and stay safe wherever you are.